Hello Feastival family and welcome to the farm. Normally looks a little bit different this time of year. In fact, this is the very spot where we'd be welcoming you, ready for a big weekend of fun and frolics. So while I'm hugely disappointed we won't be hosting our usual end of summer extravaganza, we're hoping this feature-length film will deliver the Feastival fix you're all craving. I'm really looking forward to looking back at some of my favourite moments over the years. So come on in. I know lots of you have got your own little Feastival setups going on at home, so please do keep sharing your favourite Feastival moments with us via the Big Feastival social media channels. You won't want to miss a beat. Here's what we've got in store. So we've got a cracking lineup for you. I'm just off to the market garden to find some delicious bits and pieces for Juliet Sear to cook. We've got a live performance from BBC introducing artist Izzy Derry and a smoking moment from 2018. It is eerily quiet. It's very strange, but I'm not completely alone. I'm delighted to welcome longtime Feastival friend and main stage host Jo Whiley. Cheers, Jo, welcome back.
Oh, it's nice to be here, but incredibly surreal. I can't quite get my bearings of where I am. I know I'm sitting on a bit of straw with you, as we do. But
Trying to make you feel at home.
Yeah, what goes where normally?
Well, so your cheese hub's lying silent in that direction with the main stage all in your night. Is that your 3 o'clock there?
Okay.
And then, so normally we'd have the big kitchen right over there. This is all kind of like dodgems and helter-skelters and bumper cars, and then you got like your Warner's Gin people just there, and somebody had one too many there, that kind of thing. Yeah, chaos and beautiful carnage everywhere.
It's so strange, it really is, because it's so peaceful and quiet and beautiful and green, and just the idea that there is music and noise and fairgrounds going on here, it's just bizarre.
I guess the fact that it's not happening this year gives us a chance to make next year even better. And the first thing we do every year, we always book the Cuban Brothers.
I knew it. So they'll be here next year.
They certainly will.
Thank goodness for that.
Here's a blast from the past.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, mi amo es Miguelito. Los hermanos cubanos represent. We're gonna introduce young One Erection to the floor here, Domenico. Ha 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 ha. Let's go, let's go. Wa 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 wa. Hey, this one for the movers, the shakers, the movers. Can't hear me? Turn me up a little. That's right. Come on, turn me up a little. This one's for the ladies, boys, girls, Cubano crazies. Can't hear me? Turn me up a little. That's right. Come on, y'all. Well, listen, baby girl, I rhyme right well. I stand to the mic, you all can tell. I get down, kids, so don't do that. Smell my aftershave. The reggae and mush, you hurt my appetite. Good to touch, and if you one of them chicas who likes to lunch, come to my restaurant for a crunch. So wait, bass, baby, yo, I got a bunch, and I'm the realest of rare. I know how you feel. Mic don't stop, chucking for real, man. I don't even need to handle the pill. I'm busting the lead, put my hand on the wheel. Come on, zzzz, 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 zzzz. You got it. Zzzz, 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 oh yeah, party people in the place to be. I'll be the cat known as the ABTMNR. Check it, know what it's about. So you the younger call me Miguel. And yes, y'all ain't don't stop. And let's just meet the that you wanted to stop. Who am I to show you when that stop is inappropriate? I'm not your goddamn like culture shit. Whoa, sorry, they got a little meta. That's your girl, well, I already met her. Said her, couple, damn, but now I got a jetta. No one can do it better. Oh, one more time, let's go. Let's do it. One more time, let's go. Jimmy on the sax. Senor Jim Hop from the Palestinian Stella Horn. Don Rubber on the drum and hit on night. Jimmy on the sax. That's right. So sexy. Can I see some hands? So nice. So sexy. Hands so nice. So sexy. Hands so nice. One erection to play. Rescue me. I need your loving. Rescue me. I'll give you all my sins again. Rescue me. I want your loving. And I guarantee I'll make you so very happy. Rescue me. I want your loving. Rescue me. You know I'm gonna touch you there. Rescue me. I want your loving. And I guarantee I'll make you so very happy. Hey, I'm gonna make you happy, baby. Feastival, I'm gonna make you happy, child. That's right. I'm gonna make you happy, baby. That's right. That's right. Peace. Welcome.
I mean, it wouldn't be Feastival if it wasn't for the Cuban Brothers here bringing their music and their joy and their laughter and their nudity to the festival year after year. And whenever they play, you always look out to the audience and you can see families enjoying what's going on stage. So you see the adults and then you see the young kids. And this next thing is for the young kids who might be enjoying Feastival. And this is the Flying Seagull project, a charity really close to our hearts here. And they're just bringing smiles and happiness and making life a little bit better for kids who are affected by the refugee crisis in the Middle East and Europe.
Hey, Big Feastival! Oh, we are so disappointed that we can't be there with you properly, but we are super happy to be joining you on this online, mega virtual, hugely exciting festival of, I don't know what, fun, silliness, madness and bonkers chaos. We can still have fun, don't you ever doubt it. Yes, Big Feastival, we've had to go digital, but that's also a matter of challenge. The challenge is, can we find all the energy that we would expect to share in person and transfer it and share it here on our virtual online Big Feastival? The answer is, bing, bing, bing. Yes, of course we can. But here at the Flying Seagull Project, we are masters in raising up the energy and making a way to pour it out. The more energy you find, the more waked up and wide-eyed and jaws dropped and arms wiggling you can be, the more fun this weekend is going to be. So, this is a energy burger. Energy burger? This is an energy burner. If you have an energy burger too, great. You can have a burger covered in energy. You eat it, vegan burger if you like, meat burger if you choose, and then you can go just as balmy. But whatever it is you have to fuel the tank with, make sure you do. Let's get started. This is called the invisible box of everything. So this here, you can do it with me. Stand up. Are you still sitting down? Why are you sitting down? This is a festival. It's not some sort of couch potato fest where you sit on a couch and watch and get bored and fall asleep. Up on your feet quick as you can. Everybody put your arm out like this. Hup. Arm out like this. Hup. Flatten them out. Shoop. And then draw a box like this. That is the invisible box of everything. Do me a favour, everybody. Open your box, but nice and slow like this. It should be creaking. The hinges are like pirate hinges off a pirate's chest. Whoa. Take a look inside. Give me an ooh la la. Now, I know what you think. Let me just put the box out the way. You think I don't know that you didn't join in because you're there and I'm here and we're not really actually talking to each other because we're online. But here's the truth. I know some of you did, but I know some of you wanted to and didn't quite. And I know some of you were still sitting on the couch saying, ha ha, he doesn't know that I'm sitting down. I do know, because I know that some of you are going to try and sit down and get away with it. But it's much more fun if you join in. So jump up, put your box in front of you, bonk, and this time, when you look inside, nice and loud, Big Feastival, give me a great big ooh la la. Now that's more like it. Those of you who didn't join in yet, that's fine, but do try and join in if you can, because it is a lot more fun than watching. Right, inside this invisible box, there's a big problem. I'm so sorry, I shouldn't have got you involved with this. The box is actually full of everything that exists in the whole wide world. Everything that has ever existed and everything that could ever exist is in the box, and it's not meant to be. It's meant to be in a big pile over here. That's flip-flops, granny's hair, brush, the hat, your wellies, your maths book, everything that you can think of. It's got to come out. So put the box in front of you. Dunk. I'm going to give you 1 minute to take everything out of the invisible box and throw it behind you. Here's the thing though, you have to name it. So you have to go like candle, teapot, pair of shoes, smelly socks, duvet, and throw everything out. But even faster than that, you've got 1 minute. I'm going to play some fast and exciting music so that you know that you can't do this slow. Are you ready, Big Feastival? If you're ready, give me an oh yeah! Good. For those of you that joined in nice and loud, well done. Everybody else, turn up the volume. It's a festival, don't you know? Not just any festival. It's the Big Feastival. Best one of the year. Are you ready? Stand in front of your box. Get set. You've got 1 minute to take everything out. Now go! Put out, that's it. Flip-flops, any maths, cheese grater, anything you can think of. Faster, faster, and louder, louder. Get everything out of the box and throw it behind you. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on. Wow! It's your Micro Machines, it's your Nintendo DS. What else is there? Yes, your dog, even the dog. Come on, fast as you can, you've only got 30 seconds left. Everything out of the box, throw it behind you, quick as you can. Get it out, flip-flops, beach towel, umbrella, my sandwiches, my lunchbox from school. Come on now, Big Feastival, you've got 10 seconds left. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stop! All right, let's have a look, Did everybody get everything out? There's a big pile behind you. Wow. What's that on top? Is that a pair of football boots? Gross. I hope they're not too stinky and worn in. Bad news. I shouldn't have done it. Now I know I shouldn't. But I do like to play tricks. I tricked you. Everything's not meant to be out of the box in a pile. Have you ever heard of a reason why you'd have to empty a box into a pile? Of course not. Everything is meant to be in the box. And in fact, the person coming to collect the box will be here in just under a minute's time. So you've got 1 minute to put everything back in the box. But here's the problem. You can't just put it back in the box willy-nilly in a mess. You have to put it back in the exact same order you took it out. And you have to name each thing as you put it back in. I know, it's impossible! Yes, but the best things to try to do are the ones that are impossible, because when you go wrong, it's the funniest. Stand up straight. Get your energy going. Wiggle your legs. Here we go. Are you ready? If you're ready, Big Feastival, give me an oh yeah! Here we go then. 3, 2, 1, go! That's it, you put it back in as you can. Don't forget the thing behind you and that thing over there. Oh no, the teapot. You've only got 48 seconds left. Come on now, Big Feastival. You can do better than that, quick as you can. Take it all out, put it all back in. It's a stupid game, but I love the stupid one to death. Quick, 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 faster, louder. I can't hear you. Come on now, woo! Come on, you got 20 seconds left. That's a long minute, I know. You've only got 15, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, last chance. 5, 4, 3, come on, Big Feastival. 2, and 1. Alrighty, Thank you so much. Good to see that you're still wide awake. Don't go anywhere, but stay on your feet. This is Big Feastival, it's not Big Sleepable. So make sure you stay on your feet, stay joined in. As has been Bash from the Flying Seagull Project, I want to thank everybody there for all of your support. You know what we're about. We believe in love, light, laughter, and having a really silly good time as often as possible. So whilst you're enjoying your show here, the support that you give us for your energy and by being one of your chosen charities, it means that that same fun, that same good feeling, that same sense of being alive and being happy, we get to take that to the kids caught up in the refugee crisis, or for some reason stuck in hospital if they're not feeling very well, or even within the social care system or orphanages, and basically kids who really need to have that big smile. By being part of Big Feastival and by you giving that energy, we're able to do that. It's a domino effect, but each domino has a bigger smile. We love you, we miss you, we can't wait to see you next year. In the meantime, I Seagull salute you and wish you the greatest weekend you've ever had. Keep smiling and stay silly.
So Joe, I'm so delighted to show you around the vegetable garden. I've got to say, it's absolutely my favourite thing in the world, walking around eating fresh blueberries in the warm sunshines. I know you love gardening too.
Oh no, the thing about lockdown, I have loved being in the garden, and I've got all my kids and my family involved, and I know you have as well, but they genuinely appreciate where food is coming from now and how flowers grow. You know, forget Nile Rodgers, forget Rag and Bone. I think this is the most excited I've been about being at Feastival, being in your garden. Take me on a tour.
We've got all sorts really. We've got to get some stuff for Juliet, and well, I'm particularly proud of my garlic flowers. Come and have a look at these. This is like garlic shallots. They're amazing. The flowers are like the tastiest bit, and they can give a real kind of biff of colour. What beautiful things they are. Look, they're so pretty, aren't they?
They're so architectural, they really are.
And I think these can't really be called spring onions anymore. They're more or less onions now. You chuck that bit away, you don't need the bulby bit.
Seriously?
Yeah, no, they're really lovely. You chop them up fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Good for sprinkling. So we'll have some of those. What else? All tomatoes.
Oh, yeah.
Only two things money can't buy, love and homegrown tomatoes. So here's where we keep the tomatoes and the cheese plants. Got a few cheese plants here.
Oh my God, this is just a tomato room.
Well,
this is unbelievable.
We just can't grow enough. Like the kids eat their body weight in them. I think we'll get us some of those.
Oh my gosh. But so many different types as well.
Oh, God, they're so good.
What are those ones over there? Big beefy?
They're big beefy beefsteak ones, and then there's plum ones, and then these little ones, they're called little gems. The yellow, try one of those yellow ones.
Okay, yeah.
Delicious. And I might grab a cucumber around here.
It's like being in a jeweller's shop. They're like gems, aren't they? They're honestly all the different colours and varieties.
Right, I found a cucumber and some more garlic.
Load it up.
Let's see what Juliet's got for us.
Okay.
Come on, let's get cooking. Nice.
Oh my God! Being at Feastival, it is a joy.
Everything I love is here at Big Feastival.
It's like having a nice big hug. It's just like such a good vibe, great energy.
The best thing I love about it is the food. Today I ventured into a crispy chicken land, which was unbelievable. The boys in the band have been doing oysters all day.
When you work in the way that I do, you can sometimes feel a little bit like you're in a bubble. So when you come to something like the Big Feastival, it's just brilliant to meet the audience.
I met Gennaro earlier, and it was the first time I met him, and I fangirled him so hard. It was ridiculous.
The love, the family feeling, the amount of people having an amazing time. There couldn't be a better way to spend a Sunday afternoon.
It's amazing to come here and see the families, the whole families, having an amazing time. That is something wonderful.
Lots of food. I think that's the best thing about the Feastival is the array of food that you get here, and what you don't realise is how many different types of cuisines there really are, and then you get to come here and you get the best of those cuisines here.
It's just the best thing you can do in the summer.
When I arrived today, I was mesmerised. It's more than a food festival, more than a rock festival, it's for the families. And the food is absolutely delicious.
So I enjoy cooking, I brought some kids in here, we had fun, cooked my heart out, some lovely dishes that my mum would cook for me, and it's brilliant.
It's become one massive family, and then I'm a part of it, and this is where I'm most enjoying it.
So today you're going to be cooking with stuff that Joe and I have literally just harvested from the garden. Anything there take your fancy?
All of it. No, we're going to make some, we're doing focaccia, so I will be sort of like picking some of the smaller things because I'd like to do a nice edible artwork.
Amazing.
Vegetables, but it all smells incredible. So have you made focaccia bread before?
I can't say we have, but one thing about lockdown that has been brilliant is that everyone's kind of become a little bit of a cook. Actually, apart from me, I'm just doing more washing up than usual. So what do you need me to do?
So we're going to start off, it's really easy. We've got some bread flour in the bowl, got 500 grams of that.
Okay.
And what we're going to do, we'll add the dry ingredients first. We've got some sea salt, we've got some dried yeast,
Okay, yeah.
and a teaspoon of sugar as well.
Okay.
So that's all the dry stuff in there. All we need to do is add some water. So we're just going to put maybe like sort of 3/4 of it in.
Okay, yeah, done that.
And then to that we need to add a couple of tablespoons of olive oil. So I'm just kind of, just guesstimating.
Okay,
there we
decent
go.
plug, yeah.
So just like with a claw hand,
Okay.
we just bring it together.
It's such a good skill to have, isn't it, being able to make a nice loaf of bread.
I think so, and I think it's actually much easier than people
Yeah,
think. You don't need any specialist equipment. With this type of dough,
Yeah.
I like to get it really hydrated, so it
Yeah.
feels almost too sticky to handle.
Okay.
The wetter the better is what they say. The more hydration, it's going to be really nice and spongy.
There's kind of chemistry happening already. Yeah.
Once it's kind of not feeling completely wet and all the water has absorbed in, we're
Yeah.
going to bosh it out onto the surface.
Gotcha.
And then it's time to knead.
Wow, excellent. Look at that, making a good old mess.
Yeah, and to start with, it will just be like really, really sticky. So sometimes you can, add a bit more flour, but the more you knead it, it will eventually come together into more of a springy.
Oh, that's brilliant. Look,
it's
no
fun, isn't
flour or
it?
anything, just like a really good mess. Wow, the kids are going to absolutely love this.
Yeah. If you're doing this in like a stand mixer, it would only take 5 minutes, but by doing this by hand, it will probably take about 10 minutes.
Okay.
But you're burning off some of the calories that you're going to eat later. I don't know about you, but it's making me out of breath.
Oh.
Once it starts to come to more of a sort of dough, you can start to really slap it out a bit more. Okay, so they're looking pretty good. Yeah. So what we're going to do is get it into this bowl with olive oil in here.
Okay.
So what we need to do with that is let it rise for like 30 to 40 minutes.
Okay, is that
so
all?
Not because we've used the fast action yeast.
Okay, brilliant.
So it does depend on what yeast you use. So here's one that's risen earlier.
Look at that. Oh, we've made something
It's like
that's
a massive
growing.
bouncy castle. Imagine just like diving into it.
Yeah.
And then what I like to do is also add some polenta because
Oh yeah, that'll
you get
stop it sticking. Yeah.
and also you get a nice crunchy base.
Yeah.
And we're just going to get the dough out, just gently kind of bring it out like that.
Disconnect
It's
it
lovely.
from its...
We're just going to knock it back a bit and then just sort of form it out into a nice kind of rectangle that looks a bit smaller than the base of your
it's
tin.
not sticky at all, is it? It's
No.
amazing.
And just roughly kind of open it out to kind of go on the base of the tin. Just kind of put it in like that. We're going to let that rise again for about another sort of 30, 40 minutes, again, depending on the yeast you've used. So here's some I made earlier.
Wow,
I've been
well,
busy.
you have been working hard.
Yeah. There you go.
very
So
much.
this is what it's going to look like after it's
Oh,
risen.
look at
that's gone a
that.
bit crazy, this one, isn't it? Look at
That's
that.
not a flatbread, it's a fat bread.
Okay, so now, like with a classic focaccia,
Yeah.
simply you'll just whack on a load of olive oil and water emulsion, do some dimples, and then add things like rosemary or
Yeah,
sea
rosemary's the
salt.
classic look, isn't it?
And I
Yeah.
love to put whole cloves of garlic in as well
Ooh,
because they go
yeah,
really
just an
sweet
explosion.
and roasted.
Yeah, oh
but
yeah.
I thought, because you've got such a lot of amazing veg that you've been growing here, we can have a go at doing some focaccia art, which is a big trend.
Excellent,
Maybe
excellent,
that's what we
excellent.
should do for next year, do the Feastival focaccia art competition. So what we're going to do first, we're going to oil it up. I'm going to put a couple of tablespoons of olive oil in my bowl. And I like to put about a tablespoon of water and just make a bit of an emulsion.
Okay.
So just a splash of water in there, same for you. And then just with your pastry brush,
Yeah, oh yeah.
just kind of like give it a good old
Yep.
mix up. And then just sort of slather it all over the bread.
Oh yeah, good old slaver.
Yeah.
No drizzling round here, slavering all the way.
So now that's ready, I'm going to
Yep.
use a bit of sea salt on mine too, because I love a bit of flaky salt. So that's going to go all over there. Fantastic. So now we can start being creative.
I love these chive flowers. I actually think the flowers are the best bit. Can I just whack these in, any
Put them
old
in
who?
wherever you like.
And the kids would love doing this, wouldn't they? And it's a great way of using up anything you've got left in the fridge, because
Yeah.
you could put anything in there
Exactly.
and it would look and taste delicious.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but when I make food, like I specialise in sweet things, but I love to make savoury things look really pretty as well, because you eat with your eyes first, don't you?
You do. Oh, you do.
What do you reckon then? Do you feel like yours?
Yeah,
you're
look, I'm
ready
good.
for
I'm good to
going in
go.
the oven? Let's brush the veg with a little bit more oil
Yeah.
on top of those, just to sort of protect them from going too crispy and shrivelly.
Got you. Oh, you've got like a tomato flower growing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, it's fun,
That's
isn't it?
brilliant.
So now we can bake these
Okay.
200 degrees fan for about 20-25 minutes.
Wow, is that all? Brilliant. Let's get them in the oven.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Right, so these have just come out of the oven. Look at that! Whoa!
Wow.
Well, and it smells absolutely to die for.
We need to get that
Wow.
I'm really proud of these. Oh,
Next year at Feastival, we need to do an absolutely enormous one of these, a kind of trampoline.
now look at that.
That is delicious. Thanks so much, Julia.
Thanks for having me.
See you next summer.
Yeah, definitely.
Every year, our friends from the Doom Bar bring a little piece of the Cornish beach to the Cotswolds, but this time we're heading down to their neck of the woods, Porthley Beach in Rock, where beer sommelier Ed Hughes from Sharp's Brewery and Michelin-starred chef Paul Ainsworth are cooking up the ultimate beach barbecue. Cheers.
Hello Big Feastival! Oh, we're not a Big Feastival, but we're on a beach. The whole point of this is we've spent 6 years taking a beach to Oxford, and unfortunately no Big Feastival this year, so we thought we'd actually film on a beach. And so my beautiful assistant, who needs no introduction, Mr. Paul Ainsworth, is going to do a mussel dish. And this mussel dish is special because the mussels are from over there, the brewery's up there, the Mariners is there. Paul.
Hello Big Feastival, the perfect setting, and as Ed quite rightly says, we've got, well, the perfect providence of all these ingredients. The mussels right behind us. The advantage of the Porthley mussels is they've got the Atlantic Ocean on them every day because they're tidal, with that lovely fresh water from the Camel. Beautiful mussels are the base of our dish. Front cover of the amazing Just Add beer book from Sharps. So let's get cooking. So this is a really simple dish and probably one of my favourite dishes to cook at home because it's just all one pot. So we're going to start with some lovely diced smoked bacon. It's got plenty of fat on it. So that fat's going to render and give you a lovely flavour into your sauce. We're going to help it a little bit with just a touch, very small amount of oil. Straight away, nothing better than being in the outdoors and smelling smoked bacon.
Oh,
I
yes.
mean, that is the stuff of dreams.
Salty goodness, mate.
Right, now I've moved the pan into the middle of my coals. Of course, you don't have to do this on a barbecue. You can absolutely do this at home on the hob. Now, while our bacon's caramelising, let's talk about our mussels. Now, for me, we're using some of the best mussels in the world, right there. They're all shut tight. Sometimes they might be open. Give them a little tap, and if they close, they're good as gold. If they don't, then just discard them. Just put a nice damp cloth over them. Keep them in the bottom of the fridge because cold air sinks, hot air rises, and they'll stay really, really nice and fresh. Now, you can smell that smoked bacon smelling incredible.
Amazing, mate.
All right, and all you want to do is just get that proper crispy. Right. I don't know if you can see that, Ed. That's exactly what you want. All of that lovely goodness is caramelising, and we want that on the bottom of our pan, okay?
Bit of burn.
Yeah, it is gorgeous. We don't want that bacon soft because it's going to soften up again when we start to add more moisture, like our butter and our creme fraiche. So we're nearly there. Meanwhile, we've got some butter and some red onion finely sliced, which we're going to add next. So we'll get our butter in. Want to be nice and generous with that butter, because that's going to help us make this lovely sauce. We're going to add just a little pinch of salt at this stage, not much because that bacon's nicely cured, all right? But get a little bit of seasoning at the beginning because that's what helps you build those layers of flavour. Now, the magic ingredient, Doom Bar. You see how he's poured himself a glass?
Sorry, Chef.
I'm all right. It's
sorry,
okay.
mate.
No,
sorry. making sure it's tasting fine first. I wouldn't want to give you anything.
Of course. Yeah. Right, we're going to add a good glug of Doom Bar. There is something very magical about Doombar and mussels.
Yeah,
it
man.
just works.
Yeah.
Like beautifully. That smell as well, that yeasty smell,
Yeah.
it's incredible.
It sort of helps with the caramelised notes
Yeah,
as well.
yeah, it does.
You've got that barley caramel.
Yeah, and it goes so well with the bacon. So nice stir like that. Now we're just going to reduce off the alcohol. And by reducing off the alcohol, just leaves us with the beautiful, intense flavour of the Doombar. Creme fraiche, really, really important. Love creme fraiche, and just gives you a bit more than double cream. So in with that, and now that is going to come together.
So I think the history of this dish that John tweaked was he started doing it at Stein's. So
That's it, yeah.
Right in the seafood restaurant, they used to do a beer and a mussel dish, and then sort of John's tweaked it, and then Paul's perfected it. It's an absolute no-brainer.
Let them fiddle around with it, and then I sorted it out. Only joking, Rick. Now, we reduced the beer down slightly. We've added the creme fraiche. Just put a little bit of butter in there because I want to make like a really nice sauce consistency. And we're going to take this, the flavour levels of this are going to go up another gear because now we're going to add the mussels. Straight in. Lid on. Let them do their thing.
How long does it take?
As long as it takes us to raise a glass to each other.
Excellent. Love it,
Cheers.
mate.
Now, I appreciate cooking for the family can sometimes pose a challenge, but fear not, our friends from M&S Food and Chris Baber are here with a fail-safe family classic. Easy peasy, bacon, pea and cheddar pasta. It's a winner, and we'd love to see your creations, so don't forget to tag your pics, grab your ingredients, and it's over to you, Chris.
I'm gutted I can't be with you all at Big Feastival this weekend, but I'll see you all on the farm in 2021. We have some delicious recipes lined up for you, so here's one for you to try at home. Let's talk about value. This is my easy peasy British bacon, pea and cheddar pasta. This is a proper family feast that'll feed 4 people for under £2 a portion. And now time to get that M&S Select Farm British bacon frying away in the pan. I've got these British M&S peas. Now I've turned this off the heat and the eggs will cook in the heat that's in the pasta and in the water. This isn't just any bowl of pasta, this is an M&S remarkable value recipe that's just £2 a portion to feed a family of 4, ready in less than 20 minutes. Bit enough more than I can chew.
Feastival it's about you lot. It's about the people who come to the festival year after year, and you can see behind me now, this is the Cheese Hub. So I bet some of you watching have been there when Alex has been doing his DJing. Maybe you did the YMCA when we were DJing together. And we've had so many memories coming in because we've been looking for Feastival's biggest fan, and that will be announced on social media, so keep checking that out. But in the meantime, we thought that maybe you'd like to see some of the highlights.
I'm absolutely delighted to welcome Izzy Derry back to the Thresher Barn. She was here last year. Great to have you back, Izzy. What have you got?
Do you ever feel like you got it all wrong? chasing the wrong things for way too long. Well, you know I've been searching for what it's all about. Human connection or eternal wealth. 'Cause a life full of kindness, a life full of dreams, a life full of love is all that you need. So take it from me. Well, take it from me. Oh, and take it from me. And take it from me. And I'm learning to forgive. And I'm learning to let go. And I'm learning to love myself, even when others don't. And I'm learning to see the beauty in the simple things. Yes, I'm learning to see the beauty, oh, in everything. A life full of kindness, a life full of dreams, a life full of love is all that you need. So take it from me. Take it from me, oh, and take it from me, and take it from me, oh, and a life full of kindness, a life full of dreams, a life full of love is all that you need. So take it from me. Oh, take it from me. Oh, and take it from me. And take it from me.
Alex, I mean, how many years you've been doing this? There must have been so many highlights. Which ones stand out?
I think number one, Lewis Capaldi last year. It was an absolutely scorching evening and he brought the house down.
But he was such a superstar at the time and you managed to get him here.
Biggest artist in the world, and the whole festival, like all the Cheese Hub was empty, everywhere was empty, all eyes on the stage, and he knew everyone was looking at him and he'd just go like that and everyone went, oh! Yeah,
that was good.
He was the man. He was brilliant, and there's so many magic, really, truly magical moments.
Tell you what,
over the years.
last year Elbow played on.
Elbow were great. It really is hard to pick favourites. Cooking-wise, I'll never forget Marco Pierre White. I was so delighted that we've been able to get him here because it all starts with him. This great British food revolution.
Obviously, Jamie Oliver, because
oh my word, that brings me on nicely to magic moment number 3, because when you're organising a festival, you never really quite know what's going to work until you try it. So I knew I had to have my own sort of party within the party. And then one year I thought, well, maybe I'll try playing some records. And Jamie and I got up there and played a few tunes, and people just went absolutely crackerjack. And I remember do you remember?
I remember it so clearly. Oh my gosh. I remember walking past the Cheese Hub and just thinking, what the hell is going on over there? And it was just you two DJing, and all I could hear was Toto Africa.
And well, we needed some some help. So we're like, Joe, quick, get on, so give us a hand. And actually, I remember you saying, have you played Dancing Queen? Going, yeah, obviously. And then it was like, have you played Staying Alive? Yeah, of course we have. And then you were like, have you played YMCA? And we're like, no. And, like, and that's really become a Cheese Hub anthem ever since. Just make sure we're not getting too clever. Keep it real with YMCA.
Any other moments?
I always feel that Feastivals really started with the whole family go down the Helter Skelter. That's the first thing we do every year. So yeah, it's a real shame we're not going to be able to do that.
I'll tell you what I also really enjoy is the flyover that you organise every year, which is just... Like, tell us about that.
How could I have forgotten that? So I got a phone call and I said, who is it? She said, it's Dave Rowntree from Blur. Do you want the red arrows? I said, yes, we do. And she said, they'll be here in 90 seconds. So we radioed down to you on the main stage. So quick, get on the stage. Tell everyone the red arrows are coming.
I started running for the stage, and by the time I got to the front of the stage, the red arrows had gone.
It was literally
and that was the red arrows.
No. But everybody saw them, and actually, yeah, I cried my eyes out. Actually, that was a totally fantastic, totally unforgettable moment. I mean, it literally is the best fun I've ever had organising a festival.
And so for next year, what we look forward to is?
Well, more of the same really. We'll you know, more food, more music, and more family fun.
So Nile Rodgers was supposed to be here, Rag and Bone Man, Tom Walker.
Seagull, yeah, it was our best lineup ever, and unfortunately everyone has agreed to just roll the booking forward till 2021, which I'm delighted about. Gives me a bit more time to try and learn those chic bass lines just in case I get the call. So
there's no way you won't be on stage with Nile Rodgers, so we can look forward to that to 2021. It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be amazing. What do you reckon, Niall?
Hi everyone, Nile Rodgers here. I am thrilled to be headlining the Big Feastival in the Cotswolds August Bank Holiday 2021 with my band Sheep. Now I know there'll be lots of disappointed people because we have to wait yet another year to freak out on the farm, but we promise to have good times and they will be even sweeter. Stay safe. See you next August.
Thank you so much for all your support over the past few months, and we really can't wait to see you here next summer. Whether you're coming for the day or planning to make a weekend of it camping with friends or family, next year's Feastival is going to be even more stuffed with goodness than ever before. After all, we'll have had a whole extra 12 months to plan it. Please do tag your bank holiday pictures, #Feastival from the farm, so we can share them on our social media channels. Thanks so much for watching. Tickets are available on the website right now. See you here next year. Cheers.